of all, I want to take a quick consideration to what education looks like in Texas. And as you can see, we cite reference down here. This is from the Texas Education Agency. And if you look at the very top here, the African American demographic dropout rate is 10.1% from 9th through 12th grade. The Hispanic is 8%, American Indian 7.1, Asian 2.1, Pacific Islander 4.1, white 3.2, multicultural, which I don't know what that definition is, however, that's 3.7, and then economically disadvantaged, and I want to pay special attention to that, 7.8%. It could be argued that one of the major races in any sort of area would be, in some cases, economically disadvantaged, and it could also be argued that inside the East Texas area, that predominantly you're going to see economically disadvantaged African American or Hispanics more so than anything. So what that is that's a way to kind of wash the numbers above and kind of fluff them a bit so that they don't look quite so shocking. However, whenever you take into consideration everything that we're seeing here, if you're not shocked and if you think that this is success, no child left behind, etc., that is a failure to every extent. Now, whenever you look at what Joel and these boys have done with the organization, it's not if there's a need, it's why hasn't that need been met much earlier. So anyway, digest that. If we want to drill down, again, I apologize. This is a sin in any public speaker's book, but to take those percentages and to give you hard numbers, a total of 1,999 students from grades 7 through 8 dropped out over the past 6 years over a longitudinal graduation dropout rate percentage since 2008. Then, once you go from grades 7 to 8 and you get into grades 9 and 12, 34,285 just in the state of Texas alone. So from the grades 7 and 8 on into 9, 10, 11, and 12, you have a 1,700% increase in dropout rates just in Texas. We're not talking about nationally. So there again, that substantiates and takes those percentages and kind of gives you an idea of the magnitude of the problem that we have in the education system here in the United States, and it certainly isn't going to get any better. We've got an ever-expanding state, and we've got ever-expanding issues, and I don't see the education sector improving that enough to really curtail this, and in fact, it probably is going to get worse. And with that definitely shows the need. Now, let's look at the states in a whole, and let's look at contributions that were given in fiscal year 2011. I know that this is an older study. However, whenever you start getting into the nonprofit sector, the urgency for some of these studies certainly falls by the wayside. Devon, if you would, please, sir. In the nonprofit contribution for fiscal year 2011, you can see religion takes the top of the cake at 32%. Education is second with 13%. Human services, 12%. And then you've got public and society benefit at 7%. And then the rest you have environmental and animals, health, arts, culture, gifts to foundations, internal affairs, unallocated, and foundation-based. The reason why I specifically sought out religion, education, human services, and public society benefit is because if you look at the model of Kingdom Life Academy, and if you look at exactly what we do, not in just helping to shape these boys, and vice versa, they do wonders on teaching us every day. I learn something new. But also what we're doing for the community. Religion, it's very obvious we're a Christ-centered academy. Then education, again, there's no question as to how we fall within that particular realm. Human services, the nonprofit and the time that these boys contribute just to other nonprofit organizations can fall within that as well. And then public society benefit. Whenever we have these young boys, and you can see that they're on their way to being productive members of society, grow up and reinvest not only into Kingdom Life Academy, but also into other nonprofit organizations, you can definitely see how that falls into place. And then I could even sit there and argue several others as far as health, arts, culture. We heard about the amount of emphasis put on teaching about health inside Kingdom Life Academy, arts, culture, humanities, etc. If you look at the pie itself, at least 64% of the giving in fiscal year 2011 arguably falls within the Kingdom Life Academy model. Now, we talked about the hard part, the needs, and Ms. Searfoss spoke very plainly about the needs from a 30,000-foot view. Let me tell you about the needs right now. Currently, we have an operating cost of anywhere from $1,500 to $1,700 a month. The plan is, and we have applicants for 8 more students, which would triple our current student load right now, thus tripling the amount of money that it would take for our operational costs. That doesn't include the land that we are due to have donated to us very generously, but also we have a building that we want to put on now. We want to have an area where we can take these kids that we can call the Kingdom Life Academy home. Now this is a long-term goal, but that's an additional $150,000 investment inside the Kingdom Life Academy itself. And I haven't even touched on administrative costs whenever it comes to that. And with a growing organization, you will have to grow your administrative costs, or else you are doomed to fail. I certainly don't want to sit there and have bake sales every Sunday trying to come up with pennies so that we can pay these people low wages. I mean, and back to that, the idea that you can take a CEO of a Fortune 500 company that's making a video game that arguably is violent, etc., and post him on a magazine, but then you've got an organization, some of the larger ones, your United Ways, etc. God forbid those CEOs make $250,000 for bettering the lives of other people. Again, you have a witch hunt. So I want y'all to get out of that frame of mind, and I want y'all to really think about not just how you can help Kingdom Life Academy financially, but also there's several ways where we need people for volunteers, just like Ms. Searfoss had pointed out. In closing, I want to tell you, I have never seen an organization like Kingdom Life Academy. I've worked on 8 different boards, including the Red Cross of Northwest Louisiana. I've built one organization, or assisted in the building of one organization that produced a little over $250,000 in 3 years. And I don't say that to brag, I don't say that to boast. I say that because I've never seen the amount of drive and the amount of spiritual influence and the amount of dedication, not only from the executive director, but the boys and the rest of the staff. And I hope that you guys understand it, and I hope that you guys support it. I sure do appreciate your time. And if y'all have any questions, I'll take questions real quick. All right, thank you very much.